God's Bountiful Garden broadcast with your host, Rev. Pamela Durr. Every Friday at 5 p.m. on licmc.net radio and social media.
Over whatever goes on in your life. Right now, like I said, there's a lot of chaos going on, but as long as you keep your eye on the prize, be aware, but do not let what's going on in the world encompass you. You stick to God's covenant, his promises, be patient. In this, you will find peace. Yes, there will be times of waiting, but during that waiting period, you will feel a peace like you had never, ever known. Just focus on God's promises. God is not a man to lie. Everything will be completed in his timing, not our timing. The verse says, little ones shall become 1,000. One person, my sister here, London, Washington, one person, but she reaches 1,000. And that 1,000 will reach another 1,000. Like I am reaching, I'm one, reaching 1,000. And it will make a strong nation. The Lord will hasten whatever he's going to do for you in his time. It don't take God a whole lot of time to do nothing. You just have to be prepared and stationed where he wants you to be. During this time, I was looking at the other verses like Isaiah 60:20. The sun will no longer set and the moon will not withdraw because the Lord will be an everlasting light and God will be the glory ending all morning. No matter how dark, there is light. God will be your source of light in the darkness. Right now, we're having all this confusion that sometimes darkness emerges. It signifies the end of suffering, sin, sorrow. God's light replacing all darkness, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it sounds like, no matter what it walks like, no matter what it smells like. God is the light. Whatever darkness you're in, God will bring a light in this particular timing, the end times. Then there's Isaiah 60:20. Your people will all be righteous. They will possess the land forever and branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. He planted you wherever you are right now for a reason. He worked his hands to end sadness and sins. There will be joy, righteousness, and promise inheritance. You know you are part of the inheritance because you're one of God's children. And like I say, God is not a man to lie. We just have to be patient. Patient for his timing. You can't go before God. And when God tells you to do something at that timing, you don't wait and say, well, I'll do it later. You do it then. Because there's a reason and a person that's behind what God is doing for you right then and there. This is a glorious time. People are being blessed. They're being healed. They're being delivered. Those are blessings. Their discernment is being sharpened. That's a blessing. Because you have to have your discernment to fight the enemy for such a time as this. God is doing marvelous things. He promised the inheritance, and you're going to get your inheritance. People are taking over territories that the enemy thought he had. Well, God is giving you your inheritance and giving you your territory. to be responsible for during this timing. The end times is such a profound time for all God's people right now. And as my son says, keep your swivel spiritual. In other words, keep your spiritual swivelness going on at all times, 24/7, 365 days a year, and every minute and every second. God will lead you. It points to a future that God's people are made holy, and the land is a place of righteousness and peace. And that's all that we want right now is righteousness and peace. Like I said once before, there's a lot of chaos, but you can find peace within that chaos because of God's timing. God is going to be transforming, making radical shifts. People who were weak will feel empowered. He will turn sorrow into joy, and there will be no lack. There will be an abundance of whatever you need because he is your source, and he will release his resources to you in his timing, like right now. God is our planner. He is the ultimate planner in all things. We must pay attention to what's going on. You don't want to miss God's timing. You don't want to be left behind. You want to stay focused.
God's Bountiful Garden broadcast with your host, Rev. Pamela Durr. Every Friday at 5 p.m. on LICMC.net radio and social media.